Hello? Hello and welcome, I'm Zombie Kitty and welcome back to another reaction video. So, we're doing the rest of the FNAF VHS vlogs by Md-Ptv. So, I think it was a week or so ago we did all of the Springtrap videos, which was really interesting. I think these are a really cool series. And it ended with Springtrap basically getting out the facility that he was stuck in. He ended up killing a couple and it all went a bit wrong. They didn't last very long. But we skipped all of the Michael Afton ones. So they did find Michael Afton. We did skip those because I was going to do them for a separate video. So here we are. So the first thing I just want to mention briefly is that when I upload YouTube videos, YouTube likes to disable my comment section. It's been happening for about a year. It happens every single time I upload and it's really annoying. By the time this goes up on my YouTube channel, I will be in London for MCM Comic Con. So if the comment section do appear to be turned off, it will probably be like that for a while because I'll be at Comic Con by the time this is uploaded. The signal in the Excel Centre where the Comic Con is taking place doesn't have very good signal and doesn't have very good internet connection, so it will take a while for me to see it and to fix that. So I do apologise. The comment section switching off is not me, it's YouTube being a bum. So I just thought I'd get that out of the way first before we start. But yeah. Let's start with the first one. So this is Michael Afton Discovery Log. I have a feeling this is just going to be text again. So let's go. Yeah, so this is just going to be sewer in irrigation chain. A research team was sent in and found Michael Afton hiding out in an old sewer. It appeared that Michael had created a makeshift home and had been living there for some time. He was first scared and on edge after the staff went in. However, after brief negotiation, Michael agreed to come with us back to the facility. Under one condition, he would have the chance to talk with his father. Michael has been placed in the Foundation interview chamber to which he will stay indefinitely. An interview will be hosted soon and we expect many questions answered. Michael's health. The Foundation has a lot of questions and worries regarding his physical health. It appears he is in a somewhat corpse-like status and staff are complaining about the smells he's extruding. Similar to that to the smells coming from William. It would seem the theories revolve around him being dead might be true. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so that was the first one. Let me just skip back the second bit. Yeah, that makes sense. Because we've said this before with the last one, that they're both living corpses. Interestingly, they've got pretty much similar fates through different circumstances, but they have pretty much the same fates. They're both living corpses, so it makes sense that yeah, he's gonna have some horrible smells coming from him. Okay, let's go with the first interview. This is interview 1. I've just noted the description actually. So it says, the description is, with further investigation, it's obvious that Michael has not conversed in a while. But with a further assessment, it's also apparent he is in a stable mind, if not slightly self-destructive. Yeah, okay, so this makes sense with him wanting to die, but the Enid and Circus Baby and stuff not letting him. The facility has approved the meeting containing Michael and William. Ah, okay, that's going to be interesting. Okay, so this is interview 1, so let's go.
Hello, my name is Agent Mark Ross. I'm here with Michael Afton. After a detailed investigation, we managed to locate him to where he agreed to come in to answer some questions under a certain agreement, which will be explained later. Starting recording, Agent Mark Ross commencing interview 01. The date is...
Oh yeah, we're not getting the date.
Your name for the recording?
Michael Afton.
What exactly is your relationship with the entity Springtrap?
Springtrap? I don't think I understand.
That is the current title for William Afton. It was put together in placement of a cover name for what William has become.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you, it's a complicated situation.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Confused with, what was it, Spring Bonnie? The suit in a rather gruesome manner.
He died too.
Died too, implying that you also died.
Well, look at him.
I suppose my situation is just as complicated. He's stuck inside one, and one was stuck inside of me.
Due to you both sharing the same last name, our files slotted you for William's son.
Yes, William is my father.
When was the last time you saw him?
I'd say maybe over 30 years. It's difficult for me to remember things. My body has been torn apart and ripped open. I lose parts of myself every day. Sometimes I forget who I am. It's scary.
How exactly are you both still alive?
Here, yeah.
Physical damage caused to you both should be impossible to survive.
I don't exactly know. My father did something back at the old restaurant. Something truly awful. His children were going missing, and then my sister died, and my little brother. My mother went missing, and now my father. I've been searching for him this whole time. I have so much I need to ask him.
I look forward to seeing his responses. Seems like, well, he has all the answers. So with what we're putting together, the missing children are related to this strange anomaly, you and William are going through.
Yes, I think so. Though I suggest you talk to the others. They might remember more than me.
Others?
Yeah, what
Yes,
others?
there are more like me out there. The animatronics. Almost all of them are alive and lonely. A few of them did this to me. Murdered me. Tried to wear me like skin. And they did for a while, but somehow I came back, and it hurt a lot at first, but the pain faded.
There are more, like you and William, with the ability to converse and think?
Yes.
Interesting. So, Michael, a lot of the Foundation staff are questioning your appearance and are wanting answers to what happened to you. Though I will understand if you don't want to talk about it.
No, it's okay. It was a horrifying experience, but I suppose the facts should come to light. What you see is just the side effects of trying to find my father. Death and pain seems to surround him. I worked in a place, or more investigated, to where I came across many animatronics. Some of them mangled themselves together in an attempt to survive and escape. They used me, and like I said, murdered me, wore me like skin, tore my
He's talking
insides
about
out. But then I guess I somehow rebelled. But something remained, keeping me alive. It's hell.
Sounds like you've been through a lot. I'm sorry that all this has to happen to you. But I hope you understand you can't leave this facility.
I understand. I'm a monster now. An outcast. Nothing will ever be the same again. I'm just waiting for death at this point.
But it was a genuinely nice experience talking to you. I hope you get the answers you deserve from your father.
I haven't talked to anyone in a while, so thank you, really. And I hope so too.
There was a lot going on there. I think what's interesting about that one is you compare that to the Springtrap interviews, and it's a lot more, what's the word? It felt a lot more civilized. Like, even though Michael, you know, has been torn apart, put back together, he's completely mangled and messed up, there's still, like, his human mind there. Like, he is still in there. So I think it is interesting that compared to the Springtrap interviews, which were a little bit chaotic and seemed almost like animalistic, it's interesting that this seems a lot more human and a lot more civilized. The voice actor for the interviewer was a little iffy. He seemed a bit sort of wooden compared to the voice actor for Michael. But, okay, so Michael doesn't know what happened to his dad. Okay, interesting. So because he asked, like, oh, what's Springtrap? Like, what do you mean, what's happened to my father? So he doesn't know. He's going to get a bit of a shock. I don't think that meeting is going to go very well. I also feel kind of sorry for him. And I know, like, the community will either view Michael as a sympathetic character or not. I view him as a bit of both. I think he's a sympathetic character, but I think also, you know, he's responsible for the death of his brother. Like, let's just say that, because that is the truth. He is, like, responsible for that. So I think he's a bit of both. I think you're allowed to have sympathy for him for what happened to him, but also he's a bit of a prick for killing his brother as well. So, but it's interesting sort of listening to him saying, like, oh, my body is breaking down, I forget who I am sometimes. I can't help but feel sorry for him. So the next one is interview 2. So we don't have a log for this one, which is interesting. I don't think there's going to be as many logs for this one as there are with Springtrap, because Springtrap didn't talk as much. Michael seems a lot more open to talk, and he seems to be able to actually communicate, which I thought was going to be quite surprising. I thought it was going to be similar to how Springtrap was sort of struggling to speak for a while. I thought it was going to be the same thing, but it doesn't seem to be. So this is interview 2, so we're just going to go straight into this.
Hello, Michael. My name is Agent Dennis Crane.
Ah, you're
I'll be your
back.
interviewer for the foreseeable future. Starting recording. Agent
What
Crane,
happened with the other
this
guy
is
then?
Interview 2. It's been 2 days since Michael's last interview.
What happened to the other guy? Mark?
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
he's
what happened?
Perfectly fine. He was just a replacement for me while I was recovering.
Recovering? Are you okay?
Oh.
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. I suppose it's like what you said in your previous interview. Your father is surrounded by death and pain. Let's just say I got too close.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be. You did nothing wrong.
But
Okay, so
he's
that
bad
coincides
to
with what
me.
happened with Springtrap.
Anything he does wrong just reflects onto me too.
You're nothing like your father, Michael. To me, you are both lost within yourselves, but at least you know right from wrong.
Yeah. Well,
During your last interview, you told us that the animatronics were the cause of your deathly appearance. How exactly did they do this to you?
They used me as a means of escape, tricked me, and led me into the scooping room.
Scooping room? What is that?
There was
where they used the
a
scooper.
room in one of the sister locations for the company. My father had created his own off-brand location after he was removed from the business, I believe. The room had a machine called a scooper. Apparently it was used to remove machine parts from animatronics, but I suppose if you use it on a human, it just removes the vital organs instead. It wasn't nice. They said it would be quick, but I still felt everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, it wouldn't be
Give a
quick.
description towards the animatronic that did this to you.
She,
Then,
it
yeah,
was a tangle of wires, wore a mask. It was a combination of 3 or maybe 4 different animatronics. It's hard to explain.
No, it's okay. That's perfect. You said you were investigating. What exactly were you investigating into?
At first, my father told me to go to the sister location to find my sister. I had guessed he was losing it and just wanted rid of me because my sister died years back. I worked there for a few days. My father stopped answering calls and then went quiet. And one day the animatronics just killed me. After that, I just dedicated myself to finding my father and redeeming my wrongs in life.
You said you had came back and that you rebelled.
Yes, weeks or days had passed since I was killed, and I just woke up on the sidewalk like this. Whatever was using me just ran away.
Interesting. You said that the animatronics are lonely? Do you think they did this to you so they could interact with the world without being shunned due to their appearance?
I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Though some of them just want a friend, some want to kill, and some just want to die.
And what do you want?
Answers, and death.
I see.
Though there is something else, something calling me.
Calling you?
A strange, familiar feeling. I don't know how to describe it. It's as if a song is playing in my head, a lullaby that gets louder and quieter depending on where I am.
Could this be some kind of signal calling you?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Before we allow you to talk with your father, I think it's only humane of me to tell you that he's not the man you once knew. He's been in a solitary state for so long that he seems to have the delusion that you and a man named Henry are to blame for his suffering.
My father blames me.
It appears
Yeah.
so, yes.
It's all my fault. I took too long to find him. I should have worked harder.
This isn't your fault, Michael. It's his. He seems to be the one behind all of this. He's just not giving us enough to work with. You're a good kid. I hope to talk with you again soon.
Yeah,
Your next
he knows
session
he's
will
done
be with
wrong.
your father in a few days' time. Feel free to contact any of the gods if you end up feeling unsure about the meet, or if you need to talk with me again.
Thank you. Everyone here is so nice to me. It's been a long time since I've had anything like that.
Well, we are very used to handling odd situations like this, so stay safe, Michael.
So, let's talk about that. I do want to bring up something as well that's just popped up for the next video as well, but we'll talk about the previous thing first. So, yeah, the interviewer changed. And it was Dennis, I can't remember his last name, Dennis Cray, I think was his name, who was the interviewer for the Springtrap interviews. But, so this takes place around the same time then as the Springtrap interviews. So they found them pretty much at the same time, because I'm interested to know why the interviewer changed, because they didn't mention that, and I can't remember if the other guy was in the Springtrap ones. But he mentions that, oh, he's, like, Dennis has been off because he got injured. He got injured because he was injured by Springtrap. If you remember one of the interviews, it ended with, I think it was either the interview or the sample collection, he got injured. So, which I thought was interesting. It's a nice sort of continuity. I think what I like as well is the way that they've portrayed Michael with like the glowing white eyes, and you can see the purple just a little bit on his skin. It's interesting that with each, like it sort of buzzes and then comes back into the shot. And every time it does, he's either looking straight at the camera or away at something else, which I think is interesting. Yeah, I can't help but feel sympathetic for him. But I do like that when Dennis said, oh, you're a good kid, he didn't seem so sure. It's like, yeah, you know what you did. You know what you did wrong. Okay, so the next one is actually Michael meeting Springtrap. And this is going to be very interesting. Because Michael doesn't know what's happened to William by this point. He doesn't know his mental state or anything. I do find it sad that Michael was upset when he was like, oh, he blames me for this? Oh. And then even then, he's like, he's sort of blaming himself even then. Which is interesting. So this is called Michael Meeting Springtrap Log. Now, something did just come up before it went into the clip. So, I'm going to say this as well. There was a warning that said this one will contain self-harm topics and suicide topics. So please be warned. I will put this down in the description as well, and I'll put a warning at the beginning as well. Because that was I've never had that come up on the YouTube. Let's go. So Michael meeting Springtrap. This is going to go horribly wrong. On the day of Blah, a meeting was hosted between the entities ST and Michael as requested by Michael. The interviewer started sharp, which left a large portion of the staff on edge and made them question if cancelling this interview should be brought forward. Higher-ups allowed the meeting to continue. Though hostile, ST did seem to calm down and for a while gave lucid, sane responses, which makes the Foundation truly think he could be redeemable from his current mental collapse. However, due to his high incident, EMPs were immediately activated, frying all of the electronics in the general area. This did nothing to stop Springtrap, but it only hurt and enraged him further. Though this did stop him from continuing his attempt to kill Michael, it didn't stop him. Oh, and this is when he then managed to escape the facility and is at large out in the general population. Oh, okay. So, the interview raised and answered a lot of questions, especially towards the anomaly called Remnant, and very much highlighted the mental state of William Afton, which confirms that he knows everything about the current situation and could be on a world life level cycle. It's also theorised that William will attempt to hunt down Michael and finish what he started. Michael will be closely guarded, though there are some staff who believe William will never go as far as to kill their own child. Though due to William's past, it's likely he will. Foundation has once again suffered a great loss today. Okay, so again, I apologise, I'm not a very fast reader. Oh, I've realised what it's done. Okay, so that was the incident log. I apologise. We're going to do this the wrong way around. So the incident log, it skipped through the actual video of Michael meeting Springtrap and went straight and skipped over and went straight to the log, the incident log. Okay, so for some reason I can't go onto the actual video of Michael meeting Springtrap because it just skips over. It comes up with a warning message saying that, and then it just skips over to the next thing, so I can't actually view it. I don't know if I need to change my settings or anything, so I do apologise. So the next one we're going to go on to is Michael Afton chamber footage number 1. So this is after he's met Springtrap and it all went completely wrong. Yeah, this makes sense that you suffer from nightmares. Oh, I feel so bad for him. But yeah, I don't think the meeting went how you thought it was going to go. Oh, is it fading out? Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's really weird. We haven't had something fade out before. Oh, I do feel kind of... it's kind of a shame that it won't let me watch that actual meeting clip, because I think that would further emphasise actually what happened. But I read the incident log saying what happened. And obviously, God, it's going to make Michael's mental state so much worse. Oh, I feel so bad for him. I am definitely going to put some warnings in at the beginning of the video, because I didn't realise actually how awful this was. Because I didn't realise actually what topics it was going to bring up. So I will definitely put a warning in the beginning of the video as well. So this... Okay, what the hell is this? So this next one is called Michael Afton Mental State Log. The description has gone completely mad. So the description is in Zalgo text. Unknown error occurring. Processing. Data. Glitch code 280520019. And then it just has binary code. So, give me a sec, I want to see what the binary code says. And then there's Morse code. Okay, so it sends me to a Google Drive. What is happening? That does not exist. Okay, fair enough. Okay, yeah, the binary code is a Google Drive link. But it says that apparently it doesn't exist. So I don't really know. Either I've input that wrong, or I don't know. Or yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. Okay, so I've just seen another comment. There's a comment in the video that says, if anyone's wondering, the binary code in the description is part of a link, an incomplete link. Okay, it's supposed to be incomplete. Then you have the Morse code part, which if you translate it, gives you another incomplete link. If you put them both together, the first one in binary, then the Morse code, you'll be taken to a Google Drive audio file. That file is an audio of, I assume, Ennard saying something like, Michael, do you mean the man I tore open and wore like skin? Oh, so it's a hint to season 2. Okay, cool. So it's a hint to season 2. I can't seem to find a Morse code translator, so I do apologise for that. I can find a binary one, but it doesn't seem to give me a Morse code one. So this is cool. This is like an ARG, or is it ARG? Where it's like a hunt and you go through like the internet and stuff to find clues and hints and stuff. Oh, that's so cool though. So I'm guessing that was a hint to season 2, because season 2 does involve Ennard and Circus Baby. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, so let's go through to, this is Michael Afton Mental State Log. Okay, Okay, a few hours ago, Michael finally woke up from his sleep state. Overall, he seems to be in good physical health with no lasting damage. However, he seems to have fallen deeper into his own self-guilt and depression. The Foundation has supplied his chamber with different items that hopefully might help him. However, it seems to have the same sad song playing on repeat, which is making us regret this action. Overall, it seems as if Michael is trying to distract himself and keep his mind away from the subject of his father. However, the pressure seems to be crushing his mentality. So he's just sinking further and further in. Mental state and wishes. An interview will be conducted with Michael soon to confirm his mental state. However, recent evidence supplied by Foundation staff whenever interacting with Michael, he's quiet and unresponsive. It seems that the meeting has very much burnt a mark in his mind, and he may be stuck in that mindset for some time. Following Michael's wishes to not harm William are still of great discussion here at the Foundation. Most of the interviewers and researchers are trying their best to follow up, followed by Michael's request. Search efforts to find William are still a top priority. Oh yeah, he's still missing. If the Foundation fails to find William, then the last opportunity will be to find more animatronics that can perhaps explain the situation further or help highlight details we've missed. Further research will be conducted. Okay, so yeah, this is all heading towards season 2. So they're going to go and try and find Ennard and Circus Baby to find out what is going on with all this whole situation. But geez, I did not expect this video to like touch on like self-harm and depression and stuff. Yeah, warning is definitely going to be needed for this. But I think at the same time it does make sense that Michael would have these conditions. He's been through a lot. His father is not what he originally thought he was and has completely changed. And that would drive you crazy and make you depressed. So, oof. So this is interview 3. Okay, so the description for this one's interesting. It says, due to Michael's current mental state, this interview was cut short. Agent Crane made the unadvised decision to go off script and potentially compromise his position as a Foundation agent. He did so by acting as a mental attachment towards Michael. The Foundation will not tolerate this in future interviews. Ah! Dennis, you're being supportive. So I'm guessing they have to be unbiased. And Dennis is compromising that by feeling sorry for Michael. Which in fairness, it makes sense that he would start feeling sorry for him. Okay, let's go.
Hello, Michael.
Oh my god.
Recording. Agent Crane commencing interview 3. It's been
Michael?
3 days since Michael's...
Hello?
You know what? No need of these typical formalities.
Oh!
I'm truly sorry for what happened, Michael. I was worried this might happen. How are you feeling?
Not good.
Your father is wrong, Michael. I think he does care for you. He could have killed you then and there, but he didn't. He ran away, and I think he's just as scared as you are. And even though he's done unspeakable things, I think he still cares for you. In his own way, of course.
In his own way, jeez.
I can see you are not ready for this, and that's totally okay. Take all the time you need.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. So the interview was cut short because he wasn't supposed to do that. But I feel like that makes sense. Because Dennis Crane always seemed like he'd eventually be a sympathetic character. So it does make sense that eventually he'd be like, okay, this is ridiculous, let's go off script. You know, this is clearly distressing for him. For Michael, sorry. So it makes sense that Dennis would go off script and eventually help him. Oof. This is quite heavy. I'm going to go straight on to the next one. This is chamber footage 2. So the last one, I think, was just after he met Springtrap, and it all went wrong. So I'm very interested to know how this is going to go, especially with the interview cut short.
Was that really my father? He looked so different.
Yeah, he would do.
Was all this time searching really worth it? Is he still lost, even after I found him?
Oh my god, this is so sad.
Blames me.
Oh, that's still going around his head.
I don't know what to do anymore. I'm so alone. Why can't I just die? I just want rest.
Well then, so he still blames himself for everything, for like things that have happened, which is interesting. And I think the whole theme of him actually wanting to die after being scooped is very much in line, unfortunately, with his character. Because he's a living corpse, and while William ended up using that to his advantage, Michael doesn't want that. Like, Michael never wanted that. He was tricked and changed into this new thing and doesn't like that. So it does make sense that he still has this mental state, and obviously him meeting his dad didn't really help. It really affected him. It is interesting that the chamber footage, instead of, while everything else has kind of glitched out, the chamber footage seems to just fade out, which I think is interesting. I don't really know why they've made that decision. It does kind of take me out a bit, because I think the interviews and everything else sort of buzzing out and like cutting makes it seem a lot more authentic. But the chamber footage sort of just fading out seems a bit weird. Okay, this is called Interview 4. I think we've only got a couple left.
Hello, Michael. Starting recording.
Oh, he seems a lot more
Interview 4. It's
a lot
been
more
around 4
aware
days
now.
since our last interview. How are you feeling, Michael?
funny.
Rubbish.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry I put you in this situation. I don't know why we let the meet go on as long as it did. We all expected it to turn out badly.
Do you think you were right?
Right? What do you mean?
Do you think he still loves me?
Well, he didn't kill you, and he had the perfect opportunity to do so. In my mind, there is still some part of him that has a connection to you, and no, I don't think he did ever kill you.
But he tried.
And you're still here. You're alive. Your father, he's lost in his own mind. All that isolation has driven him insane. He's emotionally destroyed, and it seems like he thinks everyone turned on him. And that's normal. That's human. That's just sanity for you. Do you know where he might be, or where he might be heading to?
Oh, so he escaped by this point.
No, I don't. Are you going to kill him?
I don't have a say in the matter. If he kills anyone out there in the public population, then yes, the Foundation will likely kill on sight.
He was never a good father, but there was good days where he'd be there for me, There is still good in him. He's just suffering. I know how this feels.
I believe so too. I do think he can be somewhat redeemed, but Michael, he killed children, a lot of children.
Yeah.
No matter how much he's redeemed in life, the afterlife will not be kind to him.
He's going to hell, isn't he?
If there is such a place, then yes, I do think it's waiting for him.
He was right. I wasn't there for him. I should have. I need to find him. I can fix this.
I'm sorry, but you can't leave, Michael. You could put everything under threat.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. I just need to end this before he hurts anyone else.
By any chance, do you think this noise in your head, this song, is related to where William may be heading?
I'm not sure. Maybe. It's like I've heard it before. It's so familiar. It sounds like maybe. I remember the song. Such
What
a sad
happened there?
song, but it's broken and quiet, distorted.
Interesting. Some of the staff think Henry might be behind this signal. He's been missing for some time and was known for having a large hate against your father in the end of their friendship.
Henry was a good guy. He was nice to me. There for me on the days my father wasn't. If the music is related to him, then that would be nice. Maybe he's trying to find me. Maybe I'm not alone after all.
Thanks for talking with me, Michael. Again, take all the time you need. Something like this is emotionally tearing. We are all here for you. Just stay safe.
Thank you. I'm trying my best. I just hope my father's okay.
Okay, so this is slowly turning more into therapy sessions than interviews, which is interesting. It makes sense though that that's the direction it would go again compared to Springtrap, who was completely animalistic and out of control. It makes more sense that Michael's would be a lot more calmer and would go in that direction. He's been through a lot, he's emotionally damaged, and especially after, again, meeting Springtrap and finding out what's happened to his father and what he's become, it would destroy you mentally. So it does make sense. It's also interesting that they keep talking about, like, oh, he can be redeemed, like, it's like the whole sort of like meme thing of, oh, I can fix him. It's like, I don't think you can. And even when Dennis was like, let's just face the facts, he did kill a lot of children, like, that's not really redeemable. Which is something I thought they were going to mention a lot earlier. I'm quite surprised they only mentioned it now. It's like, no, you need to remember this, what he did. So it's interesting, he was like, the Dennis was like, regardless of all that, of if he is redeemable, he's still going to end up in hell. Which makes sense. It also lines up with like the Pizzeria Simulator ending with Henry's speech. But speaking of Henry, I didn't realise that Henry was still alive in this series. I didn't realise that. But I think that could be interesting. So he said he's been missing for a while. I think it could be interesting if they want to do another series of this, they could do logs of them finding Henry. I think that could be interesting. And then Dennis saying, oh, Michael asked, is William gonna be killed? And Dennis saying, well, we need to keep an eye on that. I don't have a say in that, but if he does kill people, then yes, the Foundation will have to shoot him on sight. We know by now, because we've already watched the Springtrap tapes, that yes, he has killed people. So he's definitely going to be destroyed. And that's not going to go well. Okay, so this next one is called Michael Afton's Situation Report. I do want to read the description for this one because it is interesting. So it says, Agent Crane was set with the task of informing Michael Afton of the current situation regarding Springtrap and William. So this is after... What is this after? So this is after Springtrap has killed that family in the house. Due to Michael having family ties with William, he was allowed information access to any added or changes within our information. The events of this interview are currently a Foundation curiosity, mainly towards Crane's plans. Higher-ups believe that Agent Crane was talking in code at various points in the meet. Information regarding how Crane discovered rumours of his replacement or removal are also a great investigation. Plans to postpone his removal are going forward until the source of these rumours have been located. Okay, interesting. So Crane seems to be helping Michael in ways that the Foundation aren't happy with. He seems to be going against his code, I think. So let's go.
Michael, hey, could I come in? I know this isn't a scheduled event, but I've been instructed to tell you something.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'd love to. So, what's going on? Are you okay?
Michael, the situation has escalated drastically. Your father, yesterday night he killed a family. A father, a mother, and a baby only a few months old.
What?
Well, he did.
Are you sure?
The father had a camera. We captured clear footage of William performing these acts. Brutally.
I'm so sorry. God, I'm sorry. This is terrible. God, why would you do this? Oh, it's my fault. I shouldn't have angered him.
Oh, it's
I should
him.
have just been a good son. Idiot.
We expected this, Michael. You are not to blame for any of this.
But the things I said to him, I made him mad. I gave him a way to get out.
The EMP is what gave him a means of escape. It fried all of the security systems in the area. He practically walked out. Michael, because of this, a KOS order has been placed on him, meaning as soon as the Foundation agent comes across him, he will be shot on
Kill on
sight.
sight.
Please,
Yeah.
you can't. I need to try. Let me try and fix this.
No, it's beyond
I
help.
have no say in this. If anything, I think I've pushed my luck too far. There have been rumors that I'm going to be replaced or removed.
What? No, but you're so nice. I really enjoy talking to you.
I don't have a say in it, Michael.
I'm useless here.
You know, even in the darkest of tunnels, they lead to light, Michael. You just need to, push it open.
Oh.
I expect this to be the last time we talk. Either you will take the tunnel, or I
Yeah.
will be replaced and likely have my mind wiped or shot. One or the other.
Thank you.
Wait, what?
You've been so nice to me. I'm glad I made a friend after all this time.
It's been a pleasant experience, Michael. Truly.
Okay. There's a lot going. Okay. So, even when Michael was told, like, Springtrap, so he did kill the baby. I had a feeling he did. That's why I was like, I'm with the other episode. I was like, I'm glad we didn't hear that, because I don't want to hear that. So he did kill the whole family in that other clip that we watched. But it's interesting that even when Michael's told, oh, he killed people again, Michael's still blaming himself. It's like, you are not to blame for William being a loony. Like, you are not to blame for that. And he was like, oh, like, I shouldn't have said all these things to him and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that doesn't mean that someone's going to suddenly start going killing kids. Like, so it's really upsetting to see him still blame himself for it. Even after everything that's happened that isn't his fault. So Crane, okay, the other surprise is that the facility are going to wipe his memory, which, okay, makes sense. Or shoot him? What? But Crane did give him a message. He said, in the darkest of tunnels, what was it, you will find light. You just need to push it open. William then looked, I think, up at maybe a vent or something and went, oh, okay. So yeah, Crane is basically saying, get out. Like, I am giving you this opportunity to get out. Interesting. So, the next one is called Michael Afton Escape. So I'm guessing he did manage it. What's the... let's have a look. What's the description? Pardon me. A few hours ago, Michael Afton managed to escape the facility grounds. I just need to check my camera. Cool. Managed to escape the facility grounds. He did so by pushing open an air duct hatch and climbing within. So that was the tunnel that Crane was talking about. After various navigation through the underground vent systems, he managed to exit through one of the main air intake ducts on the exterior of the facility. Our vent systems contain a vast amount of security systems that appeared to have been disabled. Foundation higher-ups believe Crane may be related to this escape and find it difficult to understand how Michael was not caught sooner. Michael's location is currently unknown. Foundation resources have been split into to locate both William and Michael. Okay, so let's have a look. Yep, you need to get out. Come on, get out. There you go. Are you able to climb through? I like how he just sort of slides along. North fence. I thought there were going to be cameras in the actual vents, but I guess it makes sense that there won't be. And he's out! Be free! I like his walking cycle. He's a bit sort of wobbly as well. Who's that? Is that still him? Yeah, it's still him. He's out! He's free! I don't really have too much to say on that one. I thought there was going to be security cameras actually in the vents, but I guess that makes sense that there won't be. But yeah, he got out. I do like that he sort of slides along. Like, you could see him getting into the vent and he sort of just slides along. It's like his legs don't really work properly. And even as he started walking out onto the street, like, his walking cycle is a bit clunky. Because, like Springtrap, they're both not used to walking around, or their walking is a bit weird because of the condition of their bodies. Which I like that detail. It's a small detail, but it says a lot. The last one we're going to look at is the lead up to Season 2, if it's actually going to play. Okay, so this is the lead up to Season 2. So this is called MD Future Plans Animatronic Recovery. Is there a description for this one? Oh, not really. A PowerPoint presentation to inform Foundation patrons, investors and exterior world leaders of Foundation situations. End of part 1. Oh, okay, let's go.
MD Future Plans Animatronic Recovery PowerPoint Presentation. The MD Foundation, ensuring a safe future.
Cool.
Future plans. After
Except
the
you got
security breach of Michael and William, we have lost almost all future leads to understanding how they came to be and how they are still
ensuring
alive.
a safe
Though the
future. We've
interview
lost
between
both of them.
Michael and William give a lot of new leads and evidence, especially towards the anomaly called Remnant. We are currently at a standstill, and in order to gain more information, we are in desperate need of a new animatronic or victim to interview. The goal
Yeah, because we've got
currently is to
nothing else
use
to
all
do.
the information we have gathered in order to create leads to a new animatronic. The biggest lead created so far from the information given by Michael Afton is the supported discovery of the sister location branch. Upon direct discovery, the building was under heavy decay and seems to have been left abandoned yet untouched by any exterior branch. It is suspected that the owner, William Afton, has a lot of insurance in place to avoid anyone from taking from the facility if he were to disappear. A log will be created of this animatronic recovery. Before Michael left the facility, private interviews between Michael and Agent Crane resulted in the discovery of the exact location where Michael first came back to life. The Foundation are in hopes of investigating this area and finding leads pointing us in the direction of the animatronic that used him. Michael described this animatronic to have multiple personalities and multiple minds molded into one body, meaning we feel this animatronic might contain a lot of valuable information. However, it has been many years since this animatronic left Michael's body. Overall theories behind the current state of this animatronic might be drastic. It is unknown how long these animatronics can last in the outside elements for long periods of time. A log and further investigation will be put in place. This is the end of Part 1, The Aftons. Part 2, coming soon.
Yay! So part 2 is actually out, so if you do want me to react to that one, then let me know. Yeah. So that's the end. So, future plans. So they've got, Michael said about sister location, so that's, I assume that's where they're going to find Circus Baby, because there are interviews with Circus Baby in part 2. And then he told them about Ennard, which was the amalgamation of other animatronics. So I think they're also going to find him in part 2. So the next interviews are going to be Circus Baby and Ennard. So part 2 is out now, so if you do want me to react to that one at some point, let me know. This has been very interesting. I will put a warning in as well for themes of depression, self-harm and suicide. I kind of apologise, I didn't realise that that's what this was going to talk about for a lot of the interviews, but at the same time it makes sense because of Michael Afton's mental state after everything that's happened to him. It does kind of make sense that that's where his mind would be and where his feelings would be. I think this was a lot more interesting than the Springtrap ones, just because, like I said, while Springtrap was a lot more animalistic, it seemed that Michael Afton was a lot more civilised. He still had his mind intact, he could still talk. So a lot of the interviews were quite civilised and sort of well-mannered. So he did end up giving out a lot of information, whereas Springtrap couldn't really talk for a lot of it and was slowly learning how to regain his vocals. So yeah, it makes sense that we'd get a lot more information with this one. And also Dennis Crane is either dead now or not part of the facility, so I'm very interested to know how, like, who's going to be the interviewer for part 2. I did also like as well that we had sort of background information on what was going on with him as well, and his change of heart during the Michael Afton interviews. It was, yeah, very, very interesting. But this was the part 1 of Md-Ptv's FNAF VHS series. This was called The Aftons. If you want me to react to part 2, I cannot remember what that one is called. But yeah, if you want me to react to part 2, please let me know. I really, really like this series. I think it's very, very interesting. It's very well made and very well executed. And yeah. But thank you all for watching, and I will see you all soon. Bye!